Well, hello, everyone. I'm Paula, and welcome to Off the Clock. This is the show where job titles take a break and real conversations take the spotlight. No labels, no LinkedIn, perfect answers, no, just honest conversations. Quick thing before we get started: if you enjoy real conversation like this one, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, Off Script with Paula. This is a brand new channel, so I really appreciate any help that you can give me. It really helps a content creator like myself who is starting on YouTube. So give this video a like, share the video with someone who should be watching with you. Again, I really appreciate any type of help here. And if you're joining us live, say hi in the chat. We'll be watching your comments because we love interactions. Is that what interactions make this live show magical, as you can say? So let's get this started. Today's guest is someone who somehow managed to balance group strategy and planning, global travel, podcast hosting, and building one of the most recognizable personal brands in hospitality. He's worked inside hotels for years. Now he's kind of in the other side of it, but helping hotels, groups, events, all that stuff happen. And along the way, he became Russell of Hotels. So please let me get the sound effect here. This is new to me, so be patient. So let me welcome Russell of Hotels. Hello, Russell.
Hello, Paula C. How are you?
I'm very good. And you? How is
I'm,
things
I'm
on
doing
your
all right.
side?
I'm doing
Good,
well.
good.
I've been looking forward to this for about a month.
Uh, it seems like I took a while to to invite you, but it not.
Yeah, I was wondering.
You,
I was like, well, when is she going to invite me on this show?
now you're one of the top of my list. You know that you always are. But welcome to Off the Clock. I want to start, Russell, with something very personal. You were proud vegan traveling the world, and you know hotels often struggle with plant-based options, right? So, what's one vegan dish you wish every hotel could serve?
One vegan dish. Yeah. Well, let me just say, yeah, you're right. It's hard to find hotels that have embraced that, right? Or at least have some options. I don't want them to be 100% vegan, but at least have some options. But if they can just have and I'm easy, Paula, so
Mhm.
just have a Beyond Meat burger on your menu. I mean, something as simple as that. Some French fries, that's fine, and I'm good. I'll figure the rest of it out. I mean, of course, I can eat a salad and things like that, but I want to make sure they have like a vinaigrette dressing versus of always having ranch or blue cheese or something like that. So yeah, but like I said, I'm simple. So if you can do a Beyond Meat burger or some type of even like a black bean burger, something simple, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah, you're easygoing. It seems like, but do you think like hotels, since you travel a lot, as I mentioned, it's still, at least here in Brazil, it's still a struggle for people, who are vegans. Is it hasn't got better because it's quite a trendy,
It
healthy.
has gotten better. Yes, it has gotten better. It depends on the cities that you're in. Of course, in Los Angeles, kind of like the home of all this, where this all started for the most part. It's easy. I can go to almost any restaurant in Los Angeles and find something that's either 100% vegan or at least they have some options, right?
Yeah.
So in fact, I have a list of restaurants in LA. It's probably about 60
Oh.
restaurants that are either 100% vegan or have a lot of vegan options. Now, when I travel, it just depends on why am I going there? Is it a personal trip? Is it a meeting? So if I do a lot of conferences or I attend a lot of conferences, and
Mhm.
they always the people that put on the conference, they'll ask what are your dietary restrictions, and I'll tell them that I'm either plant-based or vegan, and they normally have something for me. And but it's funny, and you said it. The trend is for people to eat healthier anyway, so they'll
Yeah.
have non-meat options for them on like the buffet. So if you want to
Okay.
eat it, you can eat it. If not, whatever. But it's
Yeah.
funny how people gravitate towards that, though.
Yeah. No, it is a good choice. And speaking of traveling in hotels that you mentioned, you've as I said, you've worked sorry, you worked on so many group events over the
Mhm.
years. I wonder, Russell, what's the most memorable group event you manage that came with a surprise twist, a good one or a chaotic one? Is there any memories of a special event
That's
that you could share? That you could share?
That's you know what? That's funny, and one does come to mind, and it didn't have a good ending. This the thing. It did not have a good ending, but I will share it with you. I'm not going to share the name of the hotel, but I will share the situation.
Yeah.
So, okay, when I plan, okay, my job is hotel site selection. Okay, so I assist my clients with finding the right hotel for their event. So they give me all the information. So I'm asking questions, like probing questions about, what makes a great meeting for you? Where have you met before in the past? Where are you looking to meet this time? So let's just say this particular one was in Arizona, right? They wanted to meet in Arizona, but I gave them other options. So Arizona was one, New Mexico was another one, and I think California was another option. So no, it's Colorado. So we toured all those hotels and all those I want to say 6 hotels, 3 states in like 3 days, something like that. And they ended up choosing a hotel in Arizona. Okay. So we they and I don't normally unless the client requests that I'm there when their meeting is going on. I'm not normally there. I'm there to introduce them to the contact. I'm there to provide information about the tour of the hotel, the site selection, and all that. And I help them with the contract negotiations and things like that. But once the contract is signed, for the most part, I'm out of the equation unless they want me to come and manage the event. And in this case, that was not the case. So I did not manage his event, but I later heard that they were disappointed in the hotel, and this is the reason why. The reason why was because, and this is I can laugh about it now, but I wasn't laughing about this. Okay,
Okay.
so they're having a meeting. So it's probably 50 people in the meeting room, and
Mhm.
would turn out to be a great hotel for this group ended up being a nightmare because there were, I'm gonna say, mice running in and out of the meeting room. They had kind of gnawed their way through a wall and they were coming in and out during their meeting. And it was noticeable. Everyone in there, all 50 people that were in there
Oh my
saw
God.
this. And you know,
Oh
and
God.
that and I hate to say this, it was a room, it was 50 women. It was
Oh
50
no.
women, and oh my God, it turned out to be a nightmare. And it wasn't a nightmare from okay, that was a nightmare. If you encounter that, okay, you're gonna deal with that a certain way. I understand that.
Yeah.
But the nightmare really continued on because of how the hotel didn't respond to the
Mm.
need of the client.
Yeah.
So and I said all that to say this: hotels are going to have issues. Okay, we're going to run into issues. It's how you handle the issues that how, are you able to smooth these things over. You know what I mean? Is it going to be a long-term thing? And to this date, my client has not gotten over this. I haven't gotten over it either because I continue to hear about it, although I was not even there, right?
Yeah.
But I can understand the situation or understand the feeling that they had
Yeah.
because the hotel didn't take care of it. They didn't handle it
Yeah.
in the way that they should have.
Yeah. No, yeah, yeah. I agree. I think I never been in that I never experienced that. Hopefully, thank God. But I think we'll it's kind of part of the deal. Like eventually you're gonna have some problems with their
Oh yeah.
stay or whatever with
Mhm.
hotels, and it's a lot about how the hotel respond or deal with the
Exactly.
problem. than the
Exactly.
problem itself. But yeah, so which bring me to this next topic. What's something, since we're talking about how hotels deal with problems, but what's something you wish every hotelier knew about group events before they start in, in either investing or offering or whatever, like planning group events? What is one thing that, if it has one thing?
Well, I would wish they would. I mean, if they're already accepting group business, let's say, know more about the group that's coming in. Do your homework and make sure. And a lot of hotels do this, but I'm finding out that it's not across the board. Where hotels, back when I was on property, and I know they still do this to a certain degree, where there's a group resume that comes out. And the resume, basically, just like a job resume, it tells you everything about. If I gave you my resume, you would see everything that I've done in the past, right? Just like a group resume, this thing gets dispersed throughout, the every department, so everyone knows who's coming in, when they're coming in, what's to be expected, how many people, how many rooms. Sometimes it even has, their agenda as far as their meetings, breakout rooms, dinners, breakfasts, lunches, whatever. It has all those things mapped out on there. So everyone knows that this group is in-house on this day, and kind of like manage accordingly or act accordingly or whatever. But I've run into some situations where some hotels, they don't have that. So when you go and someone's asking about that group, they have no idea what's going on. Like, oh, is that group here? Or, whatever. Or maybe there may be something on there on the resume as far as dietary needs or dietary restrictions. And this, like I said, this goes out to everyone, right? Now, if it was a dietary restriction or a room type or whatever, this is going to managers, it's going to the chef, it's going to everyone else, right? So it's one of those things that people need to read this and take it serious, that because the success or failure of a group has to do with how it's executed. And that resume helps you execute the group, without making it. Like I said, mistakes are going to happen. We understand that, but it's how the hotel or that person or that department, how do they react to it and how do they follow up and how they take care of it. So I would say across the board, either group resumes or pre-con meetings. And a pre-con meeting is before the conference starts, maybe the day before, everyone comes together, the meeting planner, the person that planned this, myself, the director of sales and marketing, the general manager, the food and beverage director, the chef, the housekeeping director, everybody, the engineer, the chief engineer, everyone that's responsible for that hotel or those departments comes and listens to the resume. I mean, they read the resume, but it gives them opportunity to hear from either the meeting planner or the person that's actually putting on the event, so that now you have a personal connection with them. You not only have the resume, but you've just attended this. It's called a pre-con meeting, where you went from A to Z and you talked about everything about that group, and then the hotel people get a chance to talk about, who they are as well. They introduce themselves. If there's anything we can do, here's my card, here's my number, I'm available, that kind of thing. So that way it takes down, if there's any barriers there, it takes down all that. And now you're able to go directly to those people if there's issues that do arise.
Oh, I really like that. And I think if it's basic, the more you know your guest, the group, the less chance you have to having problems. All right. So Russell, lighter question now. You stayed in countless rooms, so I want you to be honest. Do you have a go-to superstitious hotel habit, like inspecting something immediately, moving furniture, I don't know, checking the mattress, anything?
Well, you know what? That's funny you should say that. I do check the room when I walk in. I check it like I'm inspecting it as a housekeeper, okay, or a
Oh,
housekeeping
cool.
manager, right? So
Yeah.
I go and I check for dust. I check for all those things. I'll even put my finger up at the top of the a picture, a
Yeah.
picture on the wall or something like that. The desktop, the top of the TV. I'll put my finger along it to see if there's any dust. And I always look under the bed too, because notoriously people leave things under the room, under the bed. I don't know why that is, but things sometimes get pushed under there. And that's one thing I remember as a housekeeping manager. I was
Yeah.
trained to do that. Get on your hands and knees and see what's under there. So we had to physically check every room, right? When I first
Yeah.
started, I started as a housekeeping manager or trainee first, and then my first job, I had a 146 room hotel. I checked 146 rooms every single day. I don't care if it was clean or dirty, vacant ready, vacant, whatever. I checked every room. So I had to get on my hands and knees and look under every bed. So that it's kind of stuck with me.
With
So I
you.
do
Yeah.
that. And I also now, even when I'm with my family, I have to be the first one in the room because I have to take pictures um
Ah,
before it looks
okay.
lived in. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so I'm doing the video, I'm doing pictures, I'm doing all that. So I'm holding everybody out in the lobby or in the hallway before
Yeah.
I said, let me take pictures of everything and then you guys can come in. So now they
Yeah.
know. Now they know.
And which brings me to the next question, and we are already heading to the end of this show. I should have said to you that it's 40 minutes, but you're talking about taking pictures and all that, which is marketing, personal branding. So at what point, I want to ask you, at what point did Russell Edmond become Russell of Hotels? Was that something intentional? Was it intentional branding or just happened?
Well, it happened because I had left a job. I had left my last job. Things weren't going like I thought they should go. So it came to a situation where I had to either I was going to leave on my own or they're going to ask me to leave. So and it's funny, the things that I was trying to get I was trying to implement were social media based things. They were like branding things, but branding from a hotel perspective, not necessarily from a individual perspective. So when I left as Russell Edmond. So I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that meeting planning or hotel site selection was one of the things I was going to do. But it kind of went from that to more branding for hotels, more branding for destinations or whatever. And then I needed a name for my company. And this whole, I mean, Russell of Hotels came, but I had a couple other names and I don't remember what the names were, but I had this one
Oh,
guy. Yeah, I don't remember what the other names were, but I had this guy, a friend of mine. I kind of give him these names. It was like three names. I said, hey, which one? I said, I need a name for my company. Which one do you think would be better for my company? And he said, I think this Russell of Hotel sounds good. And I said, why? And he said, because it sounds like hotel royalty. That's what he said. And I said,
oh,
that's it. I said, that's all I needed to hear. Thank you very much. So that's how Russell of Hotels came to be.
nice. And then you build this very successful personal brand. You now have nearly 30,000 followers. So, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I know that you talk a lot about personal branding on your content, in your posts.
Oh,
Internet here. Are we back?
yes, yes, I hear you now.
Yeah, we're back. Sorry, I think it was the internet
It's okay.
here. Apologize, everyone.
Mm, we have a bad connection.
I think I'm having some problems with my internet. Apologies. I'm gonna try again because third time is a charm, right?
That's what they say.
That's what they say. So let's try to do this so I can finish. But let's do it again. Yeah. So I was saying that Russell creates this very successful personal brand, and he has now nearly 30,000 followers. And as he's saying, just he just started doing, and he talks a lot about in his content, and really recommend everybody to follow him on social media platforms, if especially
Please.
if you're interested in that. And Russell, one last thing, really one last thing before we go here, shifting gears again. It's the moment that no hospitality leader escapes. It's time for Would You Rather. So let me just put the music here. Here. All right. So this is like the most fun part of this show, at least for me. I love it. It's where, Russell, you're gonna have some quick dilemmas. You're gonna have to choose one, pick one situation that is better for you, and zero overthinking. You don't need to justify. Just say what you prefer. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
Would You Rather. So let's do this. Are you ready?
Yes.
So, Russell, would you rather speak on stage at the biggest hospitality conference or go viral with a hot hospitality take online? So, stage or like online and offline, basically.
Speak on stage or go viral. I think speak on stage.
Nice. Next one. Would you rather work only behind the scenes as a strategist or be full in front of the camera as a hospitality personality?
Oh, I got to be in front of the camera. Personality. That's easy.
Nice. Next one. Would you rather work only behind? No, sorry, this one I read. Would you rather arrive 3 hours early to every flight or cut it dangerously close every single time?
I'm always 3 hours early anyway. So no, 3 hours early. I don't like flying, running anywhere. So yeah, I need to be there early, 3 hours early.
Me too. Me too. Oh my God, me too. I get stressed. Would you rather unpack fully every trip or live out of your suitcase forever?
What was the first one?
Unpack, unpack your
Oh,
bag like
unpack full. Oh
fully
no, no,
every trip,
no. Oh
or you
no, I would
leave
live.
everything in the suitcase.
I don't know if I want to live. I don't want to live out of my suitcase forever. No.
It's a little bit.
So I have to unpack fully every trip. Yes.
Nice. And next one is the last one. Would you rather no site visits ever again or only site visits and no calls, no strategy calls? Like you don't have to do it anymore.
Oh man, no site visits ever again or no strategy calls. I don't like the calls, so I don't. But no site visits ever again. I,
Yeah, you yeah,
no strategy calls.
no strategy
Let's get rid
calls.
of that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Not at all.
That's nice, Russell. And really, to finish this, when you're completely off the clock, no events, no group planning, nothing, no meetings. What does your ideal day look like, or what is your off the clock moment, preferred moment?
I do a couple different things. I cook a lot, and as a vegan, you have to kind of cook yourself, right? Because I
I
can't
guess
buy
so.
everything that's prepackaged and all that. So I cook a lot, and I spend a lot of time in my yard. I'm a gardener. I garden a lot, so I grow different things or whatever. And I cut my own yard, meaning I'm the landscaper. I'm the one that does all that. So I,
Wow.
I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. So yeah, so that's what
Oh,
I do. Yeah.
that's two good hobbies. Okay, so that's a wrap on Off the Clock. Russell, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. I really
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Paula. I appreciate the time and good seeing you again as always.
Yeah, and can you please tell everybody who's listening to you have a podcast? You go live. Is there a specific day? I think it does. So
I
just
do. It's called
briefly.
On Air with Russell of Hotels. Comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST. But I also do a daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So there's 5 days a week of me, right? So once again, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that's the daily check-in. On Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, that's on air with Russell of Hotels. So there you go. Thank you so much.
Very nice. Thank you all for watching, for being here, for supporting the show. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I really, really appreciate it. It helps me to reach to more people and to keep this conversation going. That's all for today. This is Off the Clock, where job titles take a break and real conversations steal the spotlight. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.